It's an experimental novel. Men have a very different way of expressing their anger as opposed to women. Because it's not just a story, it's supposed to make you feel something. It's supposed to give you a reflection of the aggressive world that we are living in. Hello everyone. So today, maintaining the spirit of Women's Day, I'm going to talk about two more books which have very notable central female characters. One of them is going to be a book written by me, and one of them is going to be a book which I have read by another author and I absolutely fell in love with. So, kicking it off with Love to Hurt You. Now, this is unlike any book that I had written before, and it's not meant for the younger readers. And when the book came out, I kept on repeating one thing over and over again, that if you are below 18, you need to stay away from this book. A lot of people thought that it was a publicity stunt, but it was not. This book is genuinely not meant for the younger reader, because the kind of impact it has on a young mind, I know is not suitable for them. So again, if you are below 18 and if you're watching this video, this book is not for you. You turn 18 and you pick it up, that's fine, but not before that. So diving into this book, it has one of the most notable female characters that I've ever written. And now please note that I'm saying notable and not strong, because that one character tends to become very violent, and I in no case would ever say that being violent is a sign of strength. It's an experimental novel, to put it up very upfront, because how it all started was that, people tend to behave very differently when they're angry. And it is also, you also must have observed it sometime or the other, that men have a very different way of expressing their anger as opposed to women. Men tend to get very abusive, they tend to get very violent, they would start hitting each other and so on and so forth. And women somehow don't take that path, but they would start building walls around them. They would start refraining themselves from people, and that's how generally they take out their anger. Not trying to say that which is the right way to express anger and which is not, but that's how generally the studies state that there is a difference between masculine expression of anger and feminine expression of anger. So when I got to know about this whole idea and I started digging into it, I got to know more. And it just happened that I just thought that what if there was a female character who was aggressive in very masculine ways. So that's how the whole character of Sasha was built. She got married at a very young age, and then she got to know that her husband was nothing like how she had imagined or what she wanted her husband to be. And then slowly she felt very trapped in the world that she had stepped into, and very angry with not just her husband but whole gender as per se. And she was very upset with those men who were infidel to their wives, who were not faithful to their wives, and she goes out on a rampage just taking revenge. So then what happens, and then how she gets in touch with some other characters, and then what goes on around that whole story is what the book is all about. And her character is contrasted by another character in the same book who is very docile and very polite and never gets aggressive, and she's going through a lot in her life as well. She's lost her lover, and then she's finding it very difficult to cope up with it, and there's a very stark contrast between the two characters. Both of them refuse to give up, but they deal with their situations very differently. So this is one book that I wanted to talk about today, a very notable female character. I can guarantee this will be a character unlike any character that you have read before, especially in the Indian landscape of fiction. And this book has got all kinds of responses. Some people found it very interesting, some people found it very repulsive, so on and so forth. And if you have read this book, I would love to know what you felt about it. And if you have not read this book, I would really like it if you would pick up this book, read it, and let me know what you felt about it. Because it's not just a story, it's supposed to make you feel something. It's supposed to give you a reflection of the aggressive world that we are living in, where everyone wants to just hit and fight each other, and no one wants to listen to anyone, and everyone thinks they are right, and they would not listen to anything else apart from what's going on in their mind. And also it's kind of a study of, what happens when things become too violent. Also a request, if you're enjoying this content, please do subscribe, like, share, hit the bell icon, get notifications, watch it, share it with your friends. It does help me a lot. Moving on to the next book, Circe by Madeline Miller. Now this is definitely one of the best books that I read last year. Mythological fiction at its best, and A lot of people keep asking me why I don't talk about mythological fiction from India, because I don't see it as mythological fiction. The book I have here with me is based on a character from Greek mythology. Now, this religion is long dead and it's not followed by people anywhere in the world. And this reality, this eventuality gives you the freedom to start writing fiction about this whole setup. But in India, the religions that we have, our mythology, it is very much alive and the religions are very much followed. Now, a lot of people find it disrespectful if you pick up those gods and then start fictionalizing everything and start writing stories about them, because it will hurt their sentiments. So I don't think in India or for any other religion around the world which is alive, I don't think we have this freedom to write fiction about that mythology. But anyway, so if you ask me, tell us something about good Indian mythology. I don't think any such genre exists. But when it comes to Greek mythology, yes, we have quite a few books which are very fine, great mythological fiction. So Circe is a character from Greek mythology, as I already mentioned, and she is supposed to be the first witch, daughter of the gods, immortal, and something she does becomes very unacceptable for the people around her, and then she's given a kind of a punishment and so on and so forth, and the whole story unfolds and then things follow. This book is written very beautifully, and it really showcases how that one character Circe endures everything that's thrown upon her and just keeps going on and on. I don't want to tell you more about the story because this is one book which I strongly recommend, and if I tell you a lot, then it's gonna spoil the whole story for you, so I'm not gonna do that. But I would recommend you to pick up this book and just enjoy the ride. Also, this is a very popular book, so if you've read it already, I would love to know how you liked it. And if you've not read it, pick it up. Let us have a discussion about it. I always believe that literature is meant for discussion. Writers write books so that it can ignite something in our mind, and then we start thinking something, and then we want to share it with people and develop those ideas and thoughts and see how they respond and resonate with the rest of the world. Alright people, that's it for today. So tell me what you guys are reading and how you are enjoying it. And until next time, keep reading, stay healthy. Cheers.